Hey, to each of my friends. Oh my gosh, that's reminding me I should put on my headset. Hold on, this might help us rewind a little bit. Each of you, I thank you so very much for being here. My name is Randy Schrader. The next 30 minutes have the capacity to be the most important in the last decade for me and for you. Maybe the most important 30 minutes in more than a decade. We're here to talk about leveraging artificial intelligence. Before we go further into our discussion, I would like each of you to reflect upon the first time that you saw a desktop computer. Was it a Mac? Was it a K Pro? What was it back in the early 80s sometime? At that moment in time when we saw those first computers, those who are similar to me in generational age, we couldn't imagine, could we, that the entire world would literally be forced to adopt computerization. And if they did not, they would be left behind, literally unable to not just compete, but to survive in the then existent environment as the whole world adopted a new technology. Now, stop and ask yourself a question. Did you get to choose whether you adopted, or was that thrust upon you by society? It was thrust upon us. That is the truth. We'd be living in a cave as hermits had we not adopted that computerized technology. A few years later, something similar happened with the advent of the internet. I ask you again, did you get to choose whether you adopted and embraced the internet, or was that thrust upon you? We did not get to choose. This is one of those moments. This is a rare moment. This is one of those times when things change dramatically, and when those who fail to adopt until later in the game will one day look back and say, wow, that was opportunity lost. We have an opportunity to use the technology. In fact, it's more than an opportunity. That will be a requirement. The real opportunity is if we choose to become a conduit to other people's use of the technology. Do we become a catalyst in causing that which is destined to occur, the widespread global adoption of artificial intelligence? Do we simply benefit through our personal use? Or do we, in fact, become a conduit to other people's use and therefore have an opportunity to experience life completely differently than we've experienced it up until now? Well, the future is in your hands, and it starts now. We'll deliver to you a possibility to deliver to others accessible artificial intelligence. This is a brand new venture. Over the course of my life, being an entrepreneur, always seeking to get in front of important trends. That's been one of my business principles throughout my career. I've always recognized that in order to have a true breakthrough financial success, one must be very early in the game. In fact, one must create a foundation upon which others build in the future. If we build upon a foundation created by another, we can generate income. If we create a foundation that others build upon, we can create wealth. I've heard the phrase so many times, catch the wave, catch the wave. No, that is insufficient thinking. Catching the wave means that you are riding a wave that was created by someone else. If you ride a wave created by someone else, you can generate income. If you create the wave that others ride, you can generate wealth. This is your opportunity, should you choose. This is your opportunity to be among those early adopters, the progenitors, those who provoke the entry into the AI world of others. And the upside is absolutely immeasurable in terms of its positive magnitude. Because I choose to involve myself in startup ventures. Why? Because I have to create the foundation in order to have the kind of returns that I seek and that I believe many of you seek. That demands that we figure out some way to mitigate risk. If we're getting involved at the outset, there are risks associated with that. That risk is completely and absolutely mitigated, neutralized. Why? Because we operate under the umbrella. We operate in the ecosystem of Terry LaCour. The Terry LaCour companies are profoundly successful, well-known, and they're among the finest operators in the home-based business, microenterprise, and various other arenas, product distribution, product creation, and so on. We operate under the umbrella of an extraordinarily successful enterprise, therefore granting us the unique opportunity to be at the absolute genesis and yet not suffer the risks that are typically a part and parcel of that positioning. It gives me great joy, as you can imagine. If you're a parent, it gives me great joy to introduce my son, Blake Schrader, as the president of LEV AI. Now, I, of course, cannot make that hire. I don't own the company. I'm not an officer or director. I'm an independent brand promoter, just as you are, will be, or can be, should be, in my estimation. I can't make the hire. So why did Terry LaCour make this hire? Because Blake grew up in the home of a serial entrepreneur. Blake grew up in the home of one involved in network marketing and knows what the sacrifices were that were made over the years. Now, when I say that, this for me is a complete transition point. This is not a continuation of what I just described, a network marketing career. This is for the first time, the opportunity to retask those skills long developed to no longer deliver a product that would only really resonate inside the network marketing crowd, to no longer deliver a product that would only really be priced appropriately to fund the compensation plan that a network marketer would embrace. No, this is about the percentage of the population who will be compelled to embrace AI. The same percentage of the population who were compelled to embrace computerization and the internet. This is about everyone else. For those who have embraced the direct selling industry, this is a way to re-leverage, to retask, to refocus your skills to a far, far, far higher purpose, utilizing the correct fundamental principles which have long governed the industry, but jettisoning those things that don't work anymore and that frankly never should have because they didn't make sense, to now be on the forefront, the progenitors of, the deliverer of the message that causes AI to become widespread. It will become whether or not you do it. But if you become a catalyst in causing that which was destined to occur a bit more quickly, then there is no limitation to what the upsides can be. Blake's next assignment, he became an attorney. And as an attorney, he litigated for a while, found that he wanted to be in the positive side of life, not the negative, became chief counsel, general counsel for a very large, successful direct selling company called LEV. He moved to Israel, where he ran the Israeli operation. Then, being fluent in Portuguese, moved to Portugal, where he ran all of Europe, all of Latin America, and North America. Blake's next success, his next assignment, was to become the CEO of Medical Marijuana Incorporated at a time when the end of the prohibition of cannabis was about the hottest topic in the world. Successfully launched a direct selling company called Canaway, and it was my great joy and privilege to do that with him. Blake has just completed a non-compete agreement, making him eligible to bring his skills to LEV. And now let's get right to the heart of it, folks. This is what it is all about. This Sundar Pichai, this the CEO of Google, one of the most affluent, wealthy, and brilliant men in the tech space in the business world. And according to Mr. Pichai, AI, artificial intelligence, is more profound than fire or electricity or anything we've done in the past. What a big statement. AI is more profound than fire or electricity or anything we've done in the past. In other words, consider your greatest success in life. Look back over your shoulder. That success was provoked by tools, by information technology, completely insufficient in comparison to what is now at your fingertips. What was your greatest success can be dwarfed by future successes as a result of utilization of this technology. Here from the head mind of DeepMind, Demis Hassabis. The difference here with AI is it's going to be 10 times bigger than the Industrial Revolution and maybe 10 times faster. Folks, those are big statements, aren't they? More profound than fire or electricity, 10 times bigger than the Industrial Revolution, and perhaps 10 times faster. That demands that we not just look, but we look with eager anticipation to gather the facts and to assemble the knowledge so that we can act when, given that it's 10 times faster, when you are still in front of it, as opposed to racing to try to catch up. AI should not be feared, should be harnessed, it should be embraced, it should be leveraged to your benefit. 61% of professional marketers use AI already. That will become 100. It'll become the same percentage of people who use computers and the internet. But it's not just professional marketers. Only 7% of the population of the United States and a similar global percentage are actually utilizing the convoluted, complex situation that is AI today. The same percentage of those, that 7% of the United States that now use AI, the same percentage are going to use AI as who use computers. That's the truth. The same percentage who use the internet are going to use AI. It's everybody, folks. It's everybody. The question is, what shall we do about it? 38% increase in sales reported by those utilizing AI. Folks, that's because they don't know how to use it. That should be 380% or 3,800%. 80% of entrepreneurs who are using AI says it gives them a competitive advantage. Once again, they must not know how to use it well, or it would be something far greater than that. It's 100%. Leverage AI, that's our company. LEV AI makes it simple for entrepreneurs to launch, market, and grow businesses. Well, that's music to my ears. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been launching, marketing, and growing businesses my entire career. And now, not just for those who have been in micro enterprise like me, but there are 388 million small business owners in the world. They all want the same thing. They want more customers. They want more revenue per customer. They want more profitable transactions. They want to extend the life of every client relationship, and they would rather do it without hiring a chief marketing officer. They'd rather do it with no agency or complicated tech skills required. Well, welcome to LEV AI, and welcome to the solutions that we provide to the problems that the early forms of AI have created. That being complex, convoluted, multiple applications, multiple subscriptions, one for the CRM, one for social media, one to build websites, one for, one for, one for. I had a conversation yesterday with a gentleman that told me he was currently paying 6 subscriptions to accomplish a single task that can be accomplished at the push of a button in LEV AI and done for a fraction of the money. This is not a situation that will impact some. This is a situation that will impact all. I hope that it gets home. I hope you really contemplate and consider what has been described. This is more powerful than fire or electricity. This is perhaps more important than the Industrial Revolution, and maybe 10 times faster. That demands that we accelerate our learning curve, and one of the things we will do at LEV AI is exactly that. This makes building and maintaining a candidate or customer list far easier. There is nothing more important to all of those small business owners in the world, 388 million of them, who all want to attract and retain clients and customers. Creates confidence about what to say to each candidate or prospect throughout the entire engagement process. And I like the next to last bullet. It says, remove the fear of failure. Well, how shall we remove the fear of failure? How about if we help people stop experiencing failure? Then they'll stop fearing it. And that is a tangible reality. There are a group of solutions to problems that are well known and identified. In my own case, I failed to make a correct decision a number of years ago to consciously decide to grow my social media presence. It's an absolute fact that one measure of wealth in today's world is influence, and influence can be measured by social media presence in many cases. If you have not made a conscious decision many years ago to grow it, then the odds are you've got a few hundred Facebook followers and a few hundred Instagram, and maybe you've got 500 LinkedIn friends. Folks, if you've lived a life of some significance, you should have 1 million. That's the truth. I should have 1 million followers. I should have 1 million friends. This process will help me play catch up. Why? Because the very moment that I import my candidates and my contacts into a CRM, customer relationship management, that CRM will do something that no other CRM will do. It will immediately scan every contact, which I imported with simple screenshot import. It will scan every candidate's entire social media presence, and it will tell me what is their hot button, what do they need, when do they need it, and what's the best way to communicate with them. And it will then also actually write the text for me that I can send, which is most likely to create the engagement. Wow. And it'll do it for about a third what they're currently paying, or what you are currently paying if you're using a CRM, for simply a CRM software that does none of the other things that I've described. I remember with fondly, I reflect on the first conversation, the first meeting that I had with one of the developers of this incredible concept and process. And I remember when he told me, just setting my clock here so I don't lose track of time. And I remember he asked me, he said, Randy, would you like to build a website? I'd love to build a website. My technical ability is limited to turning on a phone. He said, not anymore, Randy, not anymore. He said, you get to borrow everyone else's knowledge because of artificial intelligence. He just spun his laptop over to me and said, open this app. And then 6 clicks later, click, 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 send, upload, and I had a published site on the World Wide Web. Not simply a self-replicating site like a network marketing company would offer, but a website like you would have built for you by a tech firm. You can assign a shopping cart to it. You can assign your personality to it, your business, you, just like you would pay someone else to do, but you can do it in 5 to 7 minutes. And it's part of the service price. It's part of what you get when you become a user of the LEV AI solution. Once again, I think that for so many people, the actual net cost of participation will be less than zero. Why? Because of all the discontinued subscriptions, because it's an all-in-one shop. Many years ago, one of the great advantages that I had in the early stages of my business career was when I was taught by a gifted leader. His name was Nathan Ricks. Rest in peace, Nathan. He passed away a couple of years ago. But Nathan taught me this, his words, not mine. He said, Randy, there's a proved and predictable pattern of activities. There's no luck and there's no guesswork. If we do A, we'll get B. And if we do C, we'll get D. And if we don't, we don't. Periodically now, at this stage of my life and career, it's not unusual for someone to refer to me as a leader. I'll tell you what I really am. I might be the most effective follower you'll ever meet. I find people who are accomplishing what I want to accomplish, and then I do what they show me how to do. I don't second guess. I don't look left and I don't look right. I don't look up and I don't look down. He or she's accomplishing what I want. They've established a pattern. I follow the pattern. And I never break out of the pattern until I become completely convinced that I am more effective at that pattern than the one who taught the pattern to me. Only then do I break my own path. That process has proven to be remarkably successful and effective for me and many others. Here's the interesting thing. I find that it's a relatively small percentage of people who take that same choice, who simply follow. They just go. Why? What I've discovered is that I've never met a single person who has done that which is required to succeed, but done it poorly and therefore failed. Not once. I want to say that again. I've never met a single person who has done all that is required to succeed, but done it poorly and therefore failed. What I've met, unfortunately, are countless, untold thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who have simply not done that which was required to succeed. Why did they not? Because the transition from employment to entrepreneurship is a frightening one. Most people, upon becoming an entrepreneur, were an employee first. They transitioned from an environment where the company, where the boss told them what to do, when to do it, where to do it, and with whom. They reacted to the demands of the employment. We get involved in entrepreneurship and suddenly we must be proactive. That is a difficult step to make. I contemplate and I consider the value of the virtual assistant giving my newest member the nudge, the nudge, the nudge over the course of the day. Tom, yesterday you had new member orientation. You've had 5 assignments to complete today. You've only completed 1. Here's assignment 2. Complete it now and push send so that your sponsor, your upline has that information. Tick, 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 guiding a person through that proved and predictable pattern of activities. And now the magic, the real magic. You see, artificial delivery of this different way to deliver information than what we're accustomed to takes the pressure off of the true leader, having so much demand on his or her time, to now literally have a digital clone, which will provide those prompts for you, those reminders. When those reminders are there, the activity takes place. Artificial intelligence replaces your personal interaction, thereby granting you leverage because your message can be delivered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all over the world. And if you are brand new, frozen behind that wall of fear between proactivity and reactivity, then that nudge guides you through and makes easier that which otherwise would have been very difficult. It will even help you craft the script. And as you use the crutch then renders its usefulness less needed in some environments. I will always use the crutch to speak Mandarin for me in my mouth. But I don't want to use a crutch when I'm in an elevator and somebody says something that demands my immediate response. Every time you respond to the nudge, you're developing knowledge and gaining skill. The skill to do, said Cicero, comes from the doing. When we gather new skill, we have more self-confidence, we have more poise, we have more correct self-esteem, and we're no longer frozen behind a wall of fear. And would it not be incredible if we could create a bridge between reactivity and proactivity? That is exactly what we do with a lead program that doesn't have an added cost. Over the course of my career, I've been hesitant to engage in lead programs because they cost money. And if a new member of my business pays money for a lead and it doesn't create the outcome they wanted, that can lead to resentment and it can lead to a lack of retention. But what if there's no added cost? What if there's no added cost? Now, imagine this. I have a person who was reactive to an employer. They're trying to break into proactivity, and now they've got 30 or 100 leads every month who have asked for information. I want to know more about what you offer. Can you give me information? That's an easy conversation to join. So much easier than, I know of a project that's really intriguing and I think it'd be good for you. Can we talk? See, in one case, you had to provoke the conversation. In the other case, the conversation was easy. Why? Because someone else provoked it. That is the middle ground between reactivity and proactivity. And that will be the difference in success and failure for not just thousands, tens of thousands. And because this is ultimately going to be imposed upon the entire global population, then we can talk about the ultimate success of millions of people and more. There's a lot to this, folks. Talked about a lot already, but there is more. Every plan includes your own digital twin. And when I say a digital twin, I mean even you, the subject of that digital cloning, will have a very difficult time discerning which is you and which is the twin. You still won't be able to tell if you're watching the two on video. You still won't be able to tell when they start to speak, if they're both speaking your native language. But if you speak English and suddenly one of the two begins speaking Mandarin, that'll be your clue. Oh, that's the virtual twin. That one speaks Tagalog. That one speaks Hindi. That one speaks Russian. Oh, that's the virtual twin. Oh, and by the way, that one has 35 years of compressed knowledge, which I loaded into it from my upline, my teacher, my coach. That twin knows a whole bunch that I, the real person, don't know. It'll be pretty easy for you to ascertain which is which, and you will learn from the twin as the twin learned from whatever information you chose to upload to it from whatever source. Folks, the window of opening, I believe, is going to be about September 1st. That's the first possible day. The company will not launch before September 1. Sometime in the month of September it will. I don't know the date yet. When it is launched, I believe that it will have 3 packages, not 2. There will be no package offered by this company that is more than $150. It will be 50, 100, and 150, or something very, very close to that. A rapid flow of new member applications can be provoked when the product or service is something that everyone wants and needs. It's cool, it's hot, it's trendy, and it is priced as I've just described. You cannot acquire what this company offers for anywhere near the same amount of money. That is a statement of fact, not a reflection of my opinion. Each plan, your own video twin, your likeness, your voice, speaking your script flawlessly in 150 plus languages. And you can even use your own personalized GPT to craft your message. Remember ChatGPT? 700 million people logged on this week and asked it a question, and it then gave the generic responses that are available on the internet. It did not give the specific response that would have come from your coach or your leader or your life experience. A personalized AI writing assistant which will provoke engagement that grows your social presence over time. Multiple business profiles are available if in fact you have multiple messages to deliver. AI-powered social growth and engagement. Literally, your value in the marketplace can be measured by your influence. We will begin helping grow your influence from the first moment of participation. A CRM with screenshot import and AI-powered profile enrichment telling you what each person wants to hear and when. An instant website builder at no further cost. Enhanced CRM with professional lead funnel. So now we get, as part of our package, we get leads each month, and we get a funnel process to guide them through, allowing each to arrive in the shortest possible period of time at his or her point of logical conclusion. Searchable candidates, giving each person the opportunity to gradually transition between the security blanket of reactivity into the entrepreneurial world of proactivity, a nice middle ground. And now, folks, bang the gong and ring the bell and shout it from the rooftops. For those who grow and live at or near the top of the plan, you'll have an interactive AI avatar, one that can actually converse with, have conversations with, respond directly to questions, with that knowledge base having been uploaded from your choosing. And by the way, any of you who'd like to upload my knowledge database, it's available to you. Why? Because when I'm helping you grow your business, I'm growing mine. We find ourselves finding an environment where selfishness is not just wrong conceptually, but it's a horrible business idea. Horrible business idea. And train your virtual twin to converse in all of the various methods that are important to your business model, whatever it is, the very, very best of you, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in every language spoken in the world. LEV AI, for so many people, as I've described, will have a net negative cost. In other words, you will save more money by eliminating unused applications than you'll spend in utilizing our full suite. This part gives me joy I can almost not contain. The opportunity to break out of that tiny segment of society I've worked in forever, that tiny handful of people who've embraced direct selling. Now I see the entire world. The entire world is going to be forced to comply with this new technology. Right now, I can stop thinking about the tiny segment that have embraced network marketing. I can think about the 556 billion gig economy, which is screaming in its growth, the 70 million plus freelancers in the United States. There's more than that in China. There's more than that in India. There's more than that in Indonesia. 30 million plus non-employer businesses, all of whom are talking about AI, but none of whom are using it right now. And that small percentage who are using it ineffectively. And so now the question that we each have, go all the way back to when you heard about your first computer, go all the way back to when you heard about the internet for the first time. Do you simply choose to use? And you'll have no choice. You're going to use. And so choosing not to participate in the business is choosing to use, because that will be thrust upon us by all. But those who do choose to participate in the business, you become a conduit to other people's use. You will get paid. Acquisition bonuses when you introduce someone else to a technology which they're going to have to use anyway. you'll be rewarded. You'll be paid 50% of the price of their package in that very first month. There is more. LEV AI does not reduce the dollar value. In the home-based business arena for so many years, if a product cost $150, then maybe $70 would go into the compensation plan. An artificial dilution, which has resulted in effectively overstating what the earning possibilities are. Not so here. A pure cash-based compensation plan with no dilution to PV, CV. There are those of us who will build big teams. They'll build big teams in depth. There are also those who have already made a splash of some kind in the world. You had your moment on Dancing with the Stars. You had your moment on Britain's Got Talent. You had your moment when you caught a touchdown pass in the national championship, and now everyone knows your name. You can leverage that name again by being the conduit to the use of the product. You need not build organizations in depth, simply be a conduit to their use. Anyone that you personally enroll, that would be called first generation, you'll get paid 20% for their ongoing purchases for their life of their subscription. I believe the life of their subscription can be the same as their life because the values created by it are so remarkable and so literally impossible to replace in any other environment with a one-stop shop and such remarkable pricing possibilities tied to technology that is absolutely top-notch. In addition to those who would seek to get paid again for things they've already done, for their notoriety, that would tend to be the influencer type, 20% ongoing income. We'll also build 20% of revenue created. We will also build organizations in depth. This is a simple 8-generation deep unilevel compensation plan. Pays 8 levels, 20% on Gen 1, and then 4% through the next 7. And remember, that's 4% of cash. That is not 4% of some diluted number of PV or CV. I skipped the leverage bonus. I'm going to come back to it in a minute. An idea that is red hot. It runs fast. This idea is red hot. Today is day 12. I told the first person about this 12 days ago. Today there are 5,000 people in this organization. That's an amazing thing, isn't it? From 0 to 5,000 in a handful of days, in 12 days. There are people that are today 40 generations removed from me, 40 people between me and them, the compensation plan. The compensation plan must connect leadership together with other leadership. When you have such a rapid flow of new member applications, by generation you have multiple, and by definition you have multiple generations of newcomers. Well, someone who doesn't know cannot teach someone things that they don't know. And so you must connect together leadership, no matter how deep it goes. That then creates the importance of the infinity payout, which continues those 4 percentage points indefinitely until it intersects in any vertical progression someone else who has a rank similar to yours. The leveraged matching bonus is critically important. Unique, to my knowledge, in the entire direct selling world. And this is a direct selling company. That is simply a method of distribution by which we provide the product to other people. It is not limited to the constricts that have held the network marketing industry inside. It is about the world, but it's a delivery mechanism that allows those who participate in the direct selling environment to earn royalties that will blow you away when you come to understand the magnitude. In the case of the leverage bonus, it is unique in that all parts of the compensation plan are factored into that leverage bonus. Someone that you enroll, or someone in your enrollment tree, in their first 4 generations, they earn a direct sales bonus. They brought someone to the company. You'll get a matching bonus. They earn a team commission. You get a matching bonus. They earn an infinity payout. You get a matching bonus. Folks, I've tried in a few minutes to describe something that I find not just intriguing, but unbelievably compelling. The entire world will be compelled to adapt and to adopt. The question is, are you going to be among those who are a conduit in other person's decision-making such that you help them accomplish your objectives and so that you accomplish yours? Now, I'm going to call upon a friend of mine, Larry Lane, and I'm going to ask him to fill in some blanks. Before I turn it over to Larry, I'm going to ask you each to do this. If you are not a current affiliate of this company, if you've not completed the online registration, ask whomever told you about this session to send you the enrollment link and do it now. You get a free look. There's no cost associated with that decision today. Separately, if you are not a part of our communications network, if you're not a part of our WhatsApp group, similarly, notify the person who invited you here that you need to receive the communications. Do not let a single grain of sand filter from the top of the hourglass to the bottom without your benefiting. Larry Lane, one of the gifted, bright superstars in my life and probably in yours. Larry, chime in and tell people what's up and the hows and whys.
Hey, Randy, absolutely incredible job always. Yeah, I'm just excited. All the way over here, I was talking to an incredible networker that I've known in the past. People are just excited. People are looking for something new. I was looking at this for my company for sales, but really what I really like about it is it's a digital product. You don't have to worry. Myself and Randy, we've done a lot where I've had to ship products to Nigeria, ship products to Vietnam. Customs is not fun. This is a digital product. I really feel this is an enhancement no matter what people are doing, if it's their own network marketing company, if they have a product, if they have a brick and mortar business. I look at this as marketing. This is three packages that will help you grow whatever your business or your product is. I will also say you need to be talking to people. Randy just said we could go live as early as September 1st, but definitely over the next couple of weeks, we will be going live with this company. Right now, everybody can take a look, absolutely free. I had some people in my chat group this morning. Well, I haven't seen the product yet. Well, you also have only paid free. So you haven't spent a single penny. So all we're asking for is just a little bit of patience. One thing about Terry and Blake, they've already told me, and Randy, everybody will be able to see the product. They're going to be able to see the technology before they have to spend a single penny on this company, which is amazing. That lets me know they're very confident in what they've got. Also, this model of a membership, you should be sharing it with people right now, because literally I missed a lady yesterday. I should have talked to her before. I missed her by 43 minutes. She had just signed up with somebody else, and that's going to happen. You got people in your network for a reason, but you need to be talking to them. People can take a free look right now. It doesn't cost them anything. But a lot of people, I started off with, hey, do you know about AI? Are you educated on AI? Are you using AI? Most people are going to say no. And I'm saying, look, take a free spot right here. These guys really, they've got an incredible product coming out. You can also make some money by sharing the membership. But if you think about the model, I mean, we're going to have hundreds of thousands of people and eventually millions of people in LEV AI. So when new technology and new enhancements come out with AI, do you not think they're going to go to the database that has 1 million people in it to say, hey, this new AI product, I'm going to introduce it to this database, this membership that we've already built? But I'm telling you, there's a lot of people looking right now. I've had so many people, 121 personals now. So many people say, look, Larry, this came at the perfect time. I'm so glad you shared this with me. I need this for my business. I need to make money. Whatever the reason is, there's a lot of people that are looking right now. I truly believe, like Randy said, timing is everything. We are here for a reason. I believe AI, just like Randy said, you're going to be using AI in 6 months to a year. Do you want to be making some money while you're doing that? Do you want to have a membership behind that? Or you just want to be one of the tens of millions of people that has AI forced upon them and they don't take advantage of a situation like LEV AI, where you can not only bring people into your team, educate people, but you're building a membership that's going to help build residual income for your family. So reach out to everybody, start talking to everybody. This is a really good time to build your future. And I'm telling you, with LEV AI, the future is very bright, Randy. So I'm honored to be here with you, buddy. Thank you.
Larry, I'm honored to be here with you. Folks, if I could snap my fingers and get out of my head what's there to yours, snap one more time and get out of my heart what's there to yours, there's no question of whether you'd be a participant today. Of course you would be. The question would be, what would you do about that? We got another business presentation tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern time. There will be somebody here says, that idea is right for me. Somebody is going to say yes, and they're going to have 10 people on tonight's session. They're going to launch a business tonight. Let that somebody be you. Why not multiple somebodies? Larry, I appreciate you so much. God bless everybody. The future is bright, and we will see you at the top. Bye-bye.